Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob, I'll be your host. One of the best parts about being a game master in a game is creating the world and the environment that the players get to interact in. There are lots of games that have that pre-built into it, the world, and lots of supplements for campaign settings and stuff. And there are some games out there that allow you to completely make your own from scratch and decide on what actual rules you use in the games. These games are usually referred to as generic role-playing games, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video, is one of those games. We're going to talk about the MasterBook. To play this game, all you need is a copy of the core rulebook, two 10-sided dice, and optionally a set of cards known as the Master Deck. The MasterBook has 175 pages in it and a copyright of 1994. It was published by West End Games. The artwork in this book is all in black and white. It's pretty good. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork now. The artwork in this book is all in black and white. Each picture gives you a look at the different genres you can play in. However, most of the art has a comic book feel to it, but still goes a long way for inspiring inspiration for settings in this game. But this is my favorite picture in the book. This Mick Jagger looking character makes it look like somewhere out there is a free Jack World book. In the beginning of this book, it gives a brief summary of all the stuff that you can find in this book and the rules themselves. And then later on, it gives more detailed descriptions of all the rules and breakdowns. To start with, there's character creation. When you create a character in this game, there are 8 core attributes for the game. Those attributes are agility, dexterity, endurance, strength, intelligence, mind, confidence, and charisma. You get 68 points to split up amongst those 8 attributes. You have to at least put 5 in them, but you cannot put any more than 13, which gives you an average range of 8 to 9. Then you have skills. The skills you build up with skill points. The skill points are determined by both your mind and your intellect. Whatever their ratings are, they give you a certain amount of points to put in them, and then you add them to the base ability that each of the skills are connected to, and that gives you your rating for your skill. After that, there are advantages and compensations. Advantages give your characters some kind of bonus, and compensations, of course, gives you some kind of negative or drawback. Each of them come in 4 tiers, starting with the first tier being the most minor and weak of them, and the 4th tier being the most major and powerful of them. The rule system they use in this book uses 2 10-sided dice. You roll those dice and add them together. Then you compare them to a chart, and that chart will either give you a positive number or a negative number. You add that positive or negative number to the ability or skill that you're trying to use to give you your final number. If you roll 10s, you get to keep rolling 10s and adding them to your die rolls to get a better bonus. But your final number, once you add your bonus or your negative to your skill or attribute, is compared to a difficulty chart. Your game master picks a difficulty for the test, and it tells whether you succeed or fail. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The game has a set of cards you can get called the Master Deck, and the cards There are several different types and ways to use them. There are enhancement cards, there are subplot cards, and there are picture cards. Each of them do a different thing and can alter certain situations in the game and give you bonuses, however. But it's an optional rule. It gives a layer of complication to everything, but can be pretty fun if you want to use that kind of thing. The rules have a section on combat in this book, and it gives you lots of options you can add on to the basic combat system, such as bleeding and so forth. It has several types of damage that you can do, going from wounds to K's and O's, which add up to a knockout. And there's a section here on equipment. It gives you different samples that you can add in different settings. And it talks about building your setting, picking a genre. You can run just about any genre in this game, be it fantasy, sci-fi, horror, action, doesn't matter. You can play it in this game. They also published several world books for this game for you to use instead of coming up with your own. The world books that are out there are some such as the Indiana Jones World Book, the Necroscape World Book, the Aiden World Book, the Species World Book, Tales from the Crypt, and Tank Girl. Or you can build your own world to play in, which it gives rules for it, but the major downfall to that is when you start making powers or super gadgets, psionics, magic. The system for doing that is very in depth. There's like 25 steps for it, lots of math involved, and I've seen other generic rule systems with easier ways to generate powers, and it just, if you're willing to put in the work for it, it can be worthwhile, but it's a little beyond me. But anyway, that's really all I got to say about the MasterBook. Which brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character in this game? Yes, I would. It's a pretty straightforward system, and if the world's already created by someone else, or a world book, I would very much be willing to play a character in this game. Would I run this game? I would probably run this game. I have run it once, and I would run it with a world book. I don't think I'd create anything in it. I tried, and it didn't work out very well for me. Would I recommend this game? Yes and no. I would highly recommend it if you have one of the world books to go with it, but as far as creating your own, if you're willing to put in a lot of work, it's worth it. It is. But it is very in-depth and kind of tricky, so that takes it a little bit beyond what I'm willing to put into it. And that's all I got to say for the MasterBook. Thank you for joining me at this quick look at the MasterBook, and hopefully you'll join me next time where I'll talk about something else. Bye.